27M, recently found out what my 22F girlfriend did on our break. Let me set the backstory. My girlfriend and I have been dating for 3.5 years, but never was able to move in together mainly because her dog and my current place just wouldn't work. We see each other about 6 days a week, and she has slept over many nights. I recently purchased another house, which is under renovations, and we had plans of moving in which we were both excited about. Out of the blue one day, she randomly brought up that she wishes she would have experienced more men before settling down. I think the reality of soon to be moving in and settling down actually scared her. I really wanted to see what it is like living together before I either decided to ask her to marry me or break up. I really think she would make a good wife and mother someday. I feel like you don't fully know a person until you live with them. The last few months before this have been kind of just boring/routine things together. Fast forward 2 weeks from when she originally brought up wishing she experienced other men. We have been arguing over the stupidest stuff, like picking paint colors, and she has been very distant with me. After one of the arguments over the phone, she requested we go on a break. I told her I am not against it, but I think we should meet up in 2 days and discuss it in person to make sure that's what she wants to do. I was pretty neutral about the break, and she said she really wanted some time to work on herself. Let's be honest, most of the time when someone asks for a break it's because they have someone else in mind, but they don't want to lose you. I had suspicions and asked if there was another guy, and she finally admitted there was. I told her, if you have sex with someone else my perspective of you will change. Whatever, I'm still cool with the break, because I'm trying to be as neutral as possible and understanding since she just apparently wants to work on herself for a little. Break happens, I go away for the weekend with friends and give her space, so I go no contact, but she continuously tries to contact me. We meet back up like 4 days later, and she wants me back. I know who the guy is at this point and ask her if anything happened, and she claims she didn't even meet up with him, which I was suspicion but believed it. We've been seeing each other for 3 months, as if we are dating again, but she still was Snapchatting this guy. I told her I wasn't going to date, again until she actually puts in some effort. 3 months after the break, everything is going smooth, and I occasionally make jokes about her wanting this guy. It also kind of bothered me which jokes is just how I was dealing with it, I guess, since she laughed at them too. Everything was good, we were getting along well, and when she stayed the night I decided to quickly go through her phone, just to see if she was talking to anyone else, since I still did have this slight suspicion from 3 months ago, and I did know her password all along. Boy, did I get hit in the face with some information. I saw pics of her and this guy together, and texts to her friend saying her and this guy slept together. I brought it up the next morning, and she just kept playing stupid, and would give me little details, and I would have to remind her I know everything, because all the texts I read, I was able to connect all the dots. It turns out she did meet this guy twice at the gas station before our break within the week prior, and kissed him. She also slept with this guy the day after we went on this break. For days later, everything was kind of back to normal in our relationship, mainly because I wasn't aware she even met this guy. When looking at the timelines, it turns out when this random guy starting contacting her is when she brought up the original. She wants to experience other men convo. It has been 2 weeks now, and I still hang out with her, but it feels different. She is clearly very sorry and has put significant effort into showing how much she cares and is going above and beyond. I don't know if I am more mad or just hurt at this point. I don't really know how to move forward from here because I do still love her, and we have been so strong for 3 months after this break, until I found out she has been lying to me this whole time and that the break was actually just to take some guy for a test ride. She deeply regrets it, but I just hate the idea I pretty much shared my girl with some guy, and she just came back like she can do whatever she wants to me. It's wild, I really did trust her this whole time, and it's crazy how things can change so fast. How would you move forward from this situation? She cheated on you. If my boyfriend did this to me, I couldn't forgive them. And she lied about it. Trust is hard to rebuild once it's broken. I think it's time you take a serious break from her and think about if you can forgive and move on, or if it's time to end the relationship. But in my eyes, cheating is cheating. She had a choice. Do not marry her. Do not have children with her. Do not move in with her. It will not get better. She didn't want space from you. She just wanted to bang someone else without feeling guilty. She's not sorry for doing it. She's sorry she got caught. There's nothing here that says to me she won't full-on cheat the next time she develops a crush on someone. This was just so she could cheat without calling it cheating. Guess what? It is still cheating, especially because she lied about it. She threw away everything for nothing. If you don't dump her now, the rest of the bad stuff that happens to you is your fault. Good luck. I hope you have the strength to do the right thing and leave. She's 22, and you're 27. You're in completely different places in life. Everyone knocks people for bringing up age gaps, but this is why they do. You're at the age you want to settle down and move forward, and she never experienced life. You got together when she was clearly 18, so she missed out on experiences most people have had, and it's getting to her. This is not acceptable by any means, but it's not surprising. In fact, it's probably not the last time this issue will come up. She cheated, and she clearly is not ready for what you are. End it and date someone closer to your age and where you're at in life. Oh, with all due respect, you deserve better. Men. Seriously. M22, F20. So my current boyfriend literally asked, "Hey, do you mind if I jerk off thinking of my female friends?" 'Cause in my last relationship it was also an issue, but it's actually normal for guys to think of random women to jerk off. I asked about this to my male friends, and they agreed that it's normal for guys. I had no words. I was like, why even bother being in a relationship if you'll just jerk off to your female friends, relatives, and random women? When I asked him about me doing the same, his reply was, I'd feel bad, but then it's all fantasy, so I wouldn't mind. I am afraid I can fathom this down my soul, 'cause when I first thought about dating it was this, and this is my first proper relationship. But then he went in all understanding formal tone like, okay fine, that's it. Let's continue with the movie, and acting like if I'm not okay with this, then oops, I'm a lil weirdo. I could feel it, he was trying to make me feel like, oh man, this is such a normal thing, why you're so up in the ass with this. I was embarrassed. His constant efforts to impress other women, no matter what he just wants to look the coolest in front of them, trying to impress them with uptight accent, trying to be extra helpful and nice with them when I'm there, and clearly I'd love some attention too, or when I'll point that out he'll just go, I'm just being normal, I'm not even doing anything what's wrong, and he'll just act as if I'm trying to control him so much, or he does so much for me by barely talking to any female friends of his. Meanwhile they all are his failed talking stages, they all are the women he tried to be with. Why do guys even need to make a girlfriend, if they just want to be all around other women? I am disgusted, please. He prefers fit blonde women with tits, but I'm more plump, brunette, and slightly dusky. Why even be with me? How can I believe his confession of love when he's doing all this? Where's love in that? Leave. Run. I promise you that shit ain't normal. You need to leave this man. I bet he's saying shit like this to force your hand, thus making him the victim in the breakup. No sane person with respect for their partner would talk to them this way. If he doesn't respect you today, he sure as shit won't in 10 years when you've had 2 kids. A man who starves for touch from the one he loves and connection from the world outside often ends up fed by neither. Hey, so this is insane behavior, and he is nowhere near good enough for you. Get out of there for the sake of your own sanity and mental health. Rooting for you. For me, it's not even the thinking about other women, although I do think it's strange to think of female friends versus a celebrity or TV character or some random person you saw on the street. For me, it's the fact that he needed to tell you about it and make you feel bad for being uncomfortable. If he didn't mention it, you'd never know what he was thinking about when jerking off. The fact that he wants you to know is really weird. You can't police other people's thoughts, but him telling you about it, knowing it would make you feel bad, is really messed up. And then the way he was invalidating your feelings and almost pressuring you to be okay with it, is even more messed up. You deserve better. Do some guys do this? Sure. It's not great, and I'm not suggesting you need to accept it, just acknowledging that yes, some guys do that. But to actually feel the need to inform you of it, that to me is the most toxic part. It's a wild level of literal immaturity that his 22-year-old brain was not capable of computing, that's a stupid fucking thing to say out loud. How do I, 20M, decrease libido towards my partner, 20F? I've been in a relationship for 1.5 years now, but my girlfriend doesn't want any physical intimacy. She's okay with cuddles and kisses, etc., but wants to keep it till that and not take it further. Whenever I'm close to her or kissing/cuddling, I have a natural feeling of arousal or talking things forward sometimes. I've tried talking to her a few times, but she doesn't want that. And I feel horrible and disgusted at myself for feeling that way. I've abstained from PRN/masturbation since the past 3 months, but it doesn't really make a difference. I still feel like that sometimes, and it fills me with guilt whenever I do. Please give some solutions how to deal with this, not meditation, exercise, etc. Those don't have any long-term effects. You're 20, you aren't compatible. Honestly, you need to move on for both of your sakes. She's going to have a hard time finding a long-term relationship until she figures this out or gets with someone asexual. You are 20 years old. It is the literal peak of your libido. My advice is don't waste it. If she doesn't want sex and possibly never will, it's not going to get better. Abstaining from porn is likely to make this worse, not better. You need some release for your sexual tension. Why does your girlfriend not want more, and is it temporary long-term? Sexual compatibility is very important for a relationship. Finding a new girlfriend is likely your best course of action here. Is there a reason for her request? Like religious reasons? Just curious. What you're feeling is natural and normal. Sounds like she might be asexual. And that's okay too. But it means you will have a sexless life if you stay with her. You don't do that. You leave her and find someone sexually compatible or end up being sexually frustrated. Not getting any while in a relationship has got to be the worst thing, lol. What are y'all even doing then? I'm surprised you've stayed for 1.5 years, damn. Girlfriend, 27F, crossed a line, is my 29M, reaction reasonable? I have been seeing my girlfriend, 27F, for almost 6 months now, and from the start there has been this guy friend of hers that has been lingering in her DMs. I found later on that this friend was not just a friend, but they actually had history together. Key detail. In the past and way before we met, my girlfriend told him that if he wanted to be with her he had to move to her city as she was not interested in long distance. He lived in Germany and she lives in London. Fast forward to now. I had always made it clear to my girlfriend that I am not comfortable with her texting this guy, even if it's just normal or innocent conversations, considering their history. Last night I saw a recent WhatsApp conversation between them where he tells her that he was interviewing for a finance job in Germany. She replied to him saying, "Why don't you interview for the London office instead? It's a better opportunity. London, where we are both based." Considering their history, and considering that in the past she already asked him to move to London for her, I felt betrayed and extremely hurt, and just left the house without saying a word. She said she suggested London because of the better opportunities the job offers. I can't help but think this is total BS. I don't think I can move past this, and think it is probably best to break up. Personally, would you also be upset, or do you think I am being overdramatic? Thanks for your input. Your concern is valid. Distance is the only reason they didn't date. You asked her to establish healthier boundaries. Instead, she had a conversation where she seems to be pushing for him to remove the distance. At best, she is contriving a scenario where things will be awkward. More realistically, she is either leading him on. Or you. You're only 6 months in. You set a pretty normal boundary. You discovered she couldn't help herself. It is clear she isn't ready for a relationship. Don't drag this out. As it stands, the fact you are going through her messages is a bad habit to develop. She suggested London because then she could be with him. You are her backup plan, and she is gaslighting you. It seems like she has never moved on from that guy, and they only became friends instead of partners because of long distance. She basically told you this much herself. But she doesn't want to stop having some sort of relationship with the guy. That's her prerogative. And well, yeah, if it's making you uncomfortable, then it's time to leave. Stories like this hit me. She's very likely, basically imagining a renewed relationship with this guy if only he lived in the same city. If he were to come to London, I bet she'll see him and catch up, which will inevitably result in feeling resurfacing. Move on. You are the placeholder.